How y'all doing? It's Rob Burnham, aka Future Man R&B, and Nerves to the Richard TV 91. This time we're doing another Christmas classics, and this time I'm doing Switch for Christmas. What Switch for Christmas is about, it's about two twin sisters, Kate and Chris, and Kate is this big real estate agent in Denver, and Chris is this hometown school teacher. And their fathers makes them have this brunch that they promised their late mother that they will always have, the sister brunch. So they have the brunch and they're comparing their lives together, and this makes them have the idea of switching. And they switch and they test it out for a day, and then they call and say they want to do the switch. And they do the switch, and Chris is living Kate's life, and Chris meets a guy who works with Kate, and they start getting close whenever Chris is doing this Christmas holiday party for the company that Kate was supposed to do, and they get closer and they start getting feelings for each other. And Kate is going throughout Chris's life, and she got a holiday thing she has to set up for the school or whatever, and she's looking after her niece and nephew, and her niece and nephew know that they switched or whatever. And she's trying to get this up and running, and this new guy from Los Angeles is donating all this money, and the reason is because his son starts at school, and this guy used to kind of date Kate when they was in high school, and Kate, as Chris is getting to know this guy again, and they're both sides of the story, they're both getting close to these guys, and they decide not to interfere with each other's lives, but it gets too complicated, and the guy who works with Kate gets feelings for Chris and kisses her or whatever, and then Chris runs off and says that she has to go home, and she tells this guy who she really is, and she goes home and talks to Kate, and they finish up the switch or whatever, and Kate decides to stay home and well, not stay home, but visit her family more often, and Kate winds up dating the guy she was supposed to be dating in high school, and then Chris starts dating Kate's other employee or whatever. They work together or whatever, and that's all that really happens in this movie. If y'all ever watched Switch for Christmas, what did y'all like about it? As always, Christian Man R&B signing out. Jesus, awesome. See y'all next time.